Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. Alternative sources of power are common in various sectors, and the city of Swift Current is following suit with the introduction of a power producer program. Another school season has arrived, and as students get back to their regular routines in the classroom, motorists are reminded to slow down in school zones and stay focused on the road. For the past 11 years, Craig Hilts of Swift Current has been following his passion of storm chasing. Hilts has now decided to add a new chapter in his life with the compilation of a book called Living Skies. Thanks for joining us here today. As wind and solar power become more popular, the city of Swift Current is offering a new program. Alternative sources of power are common in various sectors, and the city of Swift Current is following suit with the introduction of a power producer program, a concept which falls in line with the current net metering program, however with a few differences for the producer.
Net metering is intended for someone that has a generation source such as a solar panel to generate electricity, and they would use it for their own use, and any excess would be sort of put in a bank for use by them in the future. So when the sun's not shining at night and your lights are on, you can draw from that bank, and in the end, usually it comes out fairly, when you get to the end of a year cycle, it comes out fairly neutral, or usually these are small enough installations that those people are still paying a little bit to the utility, but have taken advantage of the opportunity to generate some of their own. The Power Producer Program is intended for someone who just intends on generating. So they're not intending to offset their use with the generation, but actually generate and provide electricity for the light and power utility.
Macon adds that the current individual interested in strictly being a power producer is suggesting a solar installation of 15 kilowatts, which would power approximately 4 or 5 homes in the community. And the city of Swift Current has set out the following guidelines as far as the maximum of solar power it will be accepting from producers.
The only ceiling that we've put in place is a ceiling on the size of the installation, which is 100 kilowatts. So at 100 kilowatts, you'd be 20 to 25 home equivalent, maybe a little bit bigger. So we've got the capacity to take on quite a bit. You start to need a fair bit of space to take on an installation of that size. So it would be interesting to see that come along. But again, at the price we're paying, it's close to the price that we're paying our wholesaler. So I don't anticipate an issue with getting too much of that coming on.
The City of Saskatoon and Sask Power also offer net metering and power producer program rights to their customers. More information on the new power producer program here in Swift Current is available from Swift Current Light and Power. For over 12 years, Southwest TV News has provided the visuals for the defining moments in our community. Support your community and help us to continue our work. Support our sponsors by watching the ads on YouTube and by clicking the ads on our website. Pennies per click, which will help us continue to bring you the award-winning news coverage you've come to expect from Southwest TV News.
The Cypress Hills Interprovincial Park is a popular destination for tourists throughout the summer months. Guests from around the world come to the park to be one with nature and enjoy the many amenities from camping, hiking trails, and more.
There's nothing quite so pretty as the hills that shouldn't be.
Another school year is underway, and motorists are again being reminded to slow down and watch out for pedestrians. Another school season has arrived, and as students get back to their regular routines in the classroom, motorists are reminded to slow down in school zones and stay focused on the road.
We will be out there enforcing and making sure that people are slowing down to 40 when they're going through school zones, that they're paying attention to any of the younger ones that are crossing the streets in the crosswalks, and those that aren't in the crosswalks. You have to be prepared for that, especially some of the younger kids that are new to school, the excitement. They're not paying attention necessarily when they're crossing the street. They're focused on getting to school and seeing friends maybe that they haven't seen for the entire summer. So yeah, please pay attention and look out for the little ones when you're in the school zone areas.
And for any motorists who decide to disobey the posted speed limit when driving through a school zone, be prepared to pay a hefty fine.
It starts at $140 plus a surcharge, and then depending on the speed you're going at, it increases per kilometer.
Posted speed limits in school zones and playground areas are in effect 7 days a week, and you're reminded to slow down for everyone's safety. Imagine a destination where you can enjoy world-class dining and unique accommodations. Take a leisurely stroll through streets filled with rich history while browsing for that perfect gift. Buy fresh produce from the farmers market and enjoy a range of cultural events while stepping back in time to learn more about Canada's Old West. Your summer destination is awaiting you in Maple Creek. For event listings and all things Maple Creek, visit our website. Mark October 18th through 21st on your calendar and plan to attend the CCA Finals Rodeo in Swift Current. The top cowboys and cowgirls will compete in all of your favorite rodeo events, vying for the CCA Championship title. And wrap up your weekend with the CCA Finals Rodeo Cabaret featuring Sweet Tequila. Get your tickets now for the CCA Finals Rodeo, October 18th through 21st in Swift Current. A Swift Current photographer has unveiled a new book showcasing his work. We have more in this report. For the past 11 years, Craig Hilts of Swift Current has been following his passion of storm chasing and capturing the visuals of these electric skies through his photography. Having traveled across Canada and the U.S. high on adrenaline and the anticipation of each new storm and accompanying visual, Hilts has now decided to add a new chapter in his life with the compilation of a book called Living Skies. Hilts recently spoke about his book to members of the Swift Current Kiwanis Club and how the concept came to fruition.
It's been about 2 years in the making, and I just kind of started looking at all my collection of images, and after doing it for 11 years, you amass quite a collection. And I basically just sat back and started looking at them and said, you know what, I think there's a book here. And I kind of separated all my images into storms and northern lights and all of that. And then I kind of noticed a pattern of Saskatchewan. And I was like, wow, that's a Saskatchewan, that's a Saskatchewan. And I just started putting in one folder just the Saskatchewan images. And I'm just like, you know what, this really is the land of living skies. And that's kind of really where I came up with the name of the book was, I just said, this encompasses it.
Hilts also had the chance to travel down to Smiths Ferry, Idaho for the solar eclipse in August, an experience which he captured on film, and one which he won't soon forget.
Because I had such a small window to try and capture images, I had rehearsed this sequence because things changed so rapidly. But about halfway through, it's like I started to relax. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting the images I want. And I just took that deep breath and I just kind of stopped taking pictures for a second and just stared up at the sky. And it was absolutely mind-blowing. And even looking back on the pictures, I've got that image etched in my mind forever. And I don't have a single image that really conveys that moment because the human eye catches so much more than a camera can, right? And so it was great to take that moment and really, truly experience it.
In the coming months, Craig Hilts will continue to keep his eye on the sky and will be busy traveling across the province promoting his book at various craft shows. Copies of Living Skies are also available online at prairiefirephoto.com.
In the town before there was 2 different clinics working out of 2 different separate buildings. So having that all under one roof, it's all a benefit to the patient.
Market Square is a summer tradition in downtown Swift Current, featuring live entertainment, fresh garden produce, crafts, and other unique vendors. Drop by Market Square every Saturday at the corner of Central and Chaplin. Proudly presented by the City of Swift Current, Standard Motors, Innovation Credit Union, and Southwest TV News. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at southwesttvnews.com. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.